Hello, good afternoon to my friends in Sri Lanka, and welcome to this session, which is AWS Machine Learning, which is the machine learning in AWS. Myself, Gopalakrishnan Ramaswamy, I'm a solutions architect working for AWS. I'm based out of Chennai. I work for the small and medium business segment, which means I help companies of all sizes um, um, build and succeed on AWS. And for almost more than 20 years in the IT industry, I've been helping enterprises use disruptive technologies to kind of affect digital transformations in the organizations. So this session will be for 1 hour. We'll probably reserve the last 5 minutes for question and answers if you have any. So meanwhile, I think you can type your questions in the chat window if you have, and I will answer them. The penultimate 5 minutes probably will reserve for a short demo if possible. Generally, I like to show things, on our AWS management machine learning console. I think you guys can get a touch and feel of how things are. So I'm working from home, as I'm sure many of you are. So in the unlikely scenario that I get dropped, just give me 30 seconds and I'll be back, right? I'm going to present my slides here. Bear with me. So what we'll do today is just understand the basics of what machine learning is, and then how AWS enables machine learning for various organizations. How do you add intelligence to your applications? We'll look at a specific service. It's a very powerful service called SageMaker. We will look at how various industries and services are adopting machine learning and finding success with the various use cases. And at the end, we will see how do you get started in machine learning, right? See, at the onset, I'd like to tell you that you might have heard of machine learning from various different sources. You probably might be doing machine learning yourself in your organization. You're probably an engineer or a developer in machine learning. You might have heard about it, about the organizations doing it, or you might have seen that a kind of probably a highly romanticized, exaggerated versions in movies, right? For example, iRobot or Endiran, where machines come to life. But I think we are far away from that kind of machine learning. But what we will see today is as it applies to and how it can transform businesses, right? So if you look at the landscape, so probably one of the best movies in machine learning I have watched is something called Imitation Game, right? So wherein it's based on a true story, wherein Alan Turing actually he builds a machine. He actually adopts a machine called a Polish code breaking machine called Bomba, and he adopts it and creates a machine which breaks the Enigma code. The Enigma code is actually used to transmit messages between Germans, and he was able to break that. And there were some traces of machine learning there, right? So if you look at this whole landscape, even we had various papers, the mathematical models were there long time back, even 40s and 50s. Some of these papers, for example, one of the models I was looking at was actually developed in 1950s, right? So one of the complex KNN models. So the models, the mathematics, the brain was already there before. So our forefathers are pretty smart. But suddenly you would see that in the recent past, there has been a lot of buzz around machine learning, right? So why is that? So as I said, the models, the mathematics behind it was always there. But off late, with the advent of cloud computing, the explosion in the amount of computing power storage meant that we could realize all these models and bring all these machine learning models to fruition. That's what's happening now, right? So as I said, you would have heard from various sources, but let us see what machine learning is, right? So if you look at artificial intelligence, it is used to describe systems which can replicate tasks which traditionally require human intelligence and judgment. Now, this could be probabilistic predictions, making judgments, classifications with a high degree of certainty, which mimic human intelligence and judgment, right? Now, machine learning, on the other hand, is the technology that powers artificial intelligence, right? So machine learning, what it does is it consumes a huge amount of data. It creates a decision logic, which is called a model, right? So model, then the intelligence system feeds data in this model, and this model in turn outputs your classifications, predictions, etc., right? So the thing to remember is that AI can be built without machine learning also. But at this point of time, machine learning is the most predominant form of building AI systems, right? So deep learning, you would have heard of this term also. So deep learning, on the other hand, is a specific type of machine learning model which stacks together multiple layers of neurons. Neurons are nothing but small pieces of programs or transformation, mathematical transformation logic. So it stacks together, and these stacks of neurons, they progressively convert raw input into higher level outputs, right? So this is extensively used in speech and image recognition, right? So now we have seen what machine learning and artificial intelligence is. Um, but why should we care? But why should you care about this, about machine learning now, right? So if you look at this landscape, it has gone from an aspirational technology to mainstream very fast. What it means is, um, till now it was confined to academic researchers, a few tech-savvy companies, but now it has started moving into the mainframe. Like all kinds of companies have started looking into this and using machine learning. It has started moving from the periphery into the core of almost all industries, right? Finance, healthcare, retail, e-commerce, you name it, right? And it has found inroads into them. Um, as a matter of fact, IDC, the International Data Corporation, predicts that this year itself, 2021 itself, the spend on machine learning and cognitive technologies is going to reach as much as, it's going to exceed $50 billion rather, right? Um, so although machine learning has been there for some time, um, its access as a tool to transform business has been lacking, in the sense that absent a clear path to machine learning success has kept a lot of companies on the sidelines, right? So a lot of companies surveyed said that they are using already or thinking of using AI and machine learning to gain competitive advantage, right? A lot of others are also saying that they are already using machine learning to increase productivity and also to narrow the gap and catch up with the rivals. So now that we have seen what machine learning is and why we should care about it, right? So what are the the current landscape, the historical landscape for machine learning, and how it has been trending. Let me talk a little bit about AWS and how they've been enabling machine learning, right? Um, so why should you consider AWS for machine learning? So AWS provides the broadest and deepest set of services for artificial intelligence and machine learning. So we are unmatched in the breadth and depth of services that we offer, right? So in 2018 itself, there are about the north of 250 features released, features, enhancements, new services released. So think of what that means, right? So developers could wake up almost every day with new features in their fingertips to develop these machine learning models and adopt them in their systems and applications, right? Secondly, we also accelerate the adoption of machine learning using a tool that I'm going to talk about, using Amazon SageMaker. Right? So Amazon SageMaker is actually a managed, probably at the end of the session, I'll kind of show you a small, how the tool look and feel, probably a small demo kind of thing. But it's actually a managed service that helps that helps developers and data scientists of all skill levels develop, train, test, and deploy machine learning models at scale. Right? So it massively increase productivity of your developers and data scientists in their machine learning journey, right? So along with that, machine learning also requires a comprehensive set of other tools and technologies, which including but not limited to storage, the proper security to secure your data, analytical capabilities to massage, transform the data. And AWS provides the comprehensive set of technologies, right? And that's why we probably have hundreds of thousands of customers using AWS for machine learning, which is almost twice the number of customers in the next largest cloud platform. Quickly touching upon this, right? So AWS is recognized as leader in the Magic Quadrant, right? So when it comes to Magic Quadrant released by Gartner, We have completeness of vision and ability to execute on the two axes. And SageMaker, the specific tool that I'll talk about, had an overall score of 84 by 100, the highest rating among the peer groups, right? Just quickly, let me talk about the ML stack. Probably this will also give you a proper idea of the various levels in machine learning, understanding of how machine learning works, and how companies of various skill levels can adopt machine learning, right? And affect transformation in the businesses. So if you look at this, we like to look at the whole machine learning capabilities in the form of this stack, right? So it basically has 3 layers. If you look at the top layers, we provide services which can be easily used to add intelligence to your applications and systems, right? So with little to no ML skills, right? So now this could be you're trying to personalize your customer experience. We'll talk about some of these details a little more later. You're probably trying to personalize your customer experience, visiting your e-commerce site or purchasing from your site, etc. You are looking at forecasting your business models, your inventory, your demand, warehousing goods, whatever that is. You are looking to transcribe information stored in a document and apply intelligence and derive meaning out of it. You're trying to recognize images and videos, etc. So you can add intelligence to these processes and your applications and systems using these packaged pre-trained models that are available and can be applied to a number of use cases, by many of them simply by making API calls, right? So you don't have to deploy a complex machine learning models, so you don't need to know about them, right? So that is the top layer. We'll look at some of these. This could be like Amazon Lex, which actually powers Alexa, Amazon Forecast for forecasting metrics, personalize, or some of them in the manufacturing sector like Amazon Monitron, Panorama, image and video recognition through Amazon Rekognition, etc. Right? If you look at the second layer, we have SageMaker, the tool that I told you about, which enterprises that have adopted SageMaker have it can also improve your productivity by as much as 10 times, right? So what it means is it enables developers and data scientists to quickly design, deploy, train their models very fast, easily, and at scale, right? If you look at the last layer, this is where you can develop your own models choosing a framework of your choice, right? So for example, Keras, PyTorch, TensorFlow, MXNet, these are all frameworks on top of which you develop your machine learning models. You can develop your models using these frameworks that you're familiar with. You can develop either using SageMaker, the managed experience of SageMaker that I'll show you later on, or you can use something called Amazon Deep Learning AMIs. The Deep Learning AMIs are nothing but machines which come pre-configured with the latest versions of machine learning tools and frameworks, mostly open source machine learning tools and frameworks, right? So which means you can develop your own models using these frameworks and either SageMaker or deep learning AMIs. AMIs are nothing but Amazon Machine Images that helps you create other virtual machines or instances based on a template. This template come pre-configured with the latest versions of the most popular deep learning frameworks and tools. So I've talked about the landscape of machine learning, the trends, why we should care, some of the features that we have on AWS, how we enable enterprises to affect transformation using machine learning, right? So we'll talk about that a little bit more. But let me pause here and tell you that what is Amazon doing, right? So we've been talking about machine learning, but how is Amazon using machine learning, right? So we use machine learning in a number of ways. It is profusely used in our fulfillment centers to forecast the demand of a lot of our products, so that we can fulfill our customer commitment towards cost, timeliness, and quality, right? Um, we also use machine learning in the form of NLP, which powers Alexa, which provides users with new ways of interacting with technology. They are also used in groundbreaking technology. We use machine learning in groundbreaking technologies like Primer, um, Primer or robotics in our fulfillment centers to deliver packages to our customers at speed. And so these are some of the ways that we have been using machine learning. And it's been integral to Amazon. We've been using machine learning for almost more than 20 years. Some of our oldest primitive time-tested models have been moved from Amazon to other places where they've been adding value. So there's a question here. Just give me 1 second. It's on my WhatsApp. So how do you give opportunity for data scientists, right? From Umanga. So I will tell you a little bit later as to how you can get started on AWS very easily, right? How AWS enables machine data scientists as well as developers quickly adopt and enable machine learning. Right? So we'll come to that. 1 second. I think there's a duplicate slide here. We've already talked about some of the ways that you can add intelligence in the form of machine learning services to your systems, right? So I think we've talked about some of these, but we'll do a little bit deep dive later on. I think it's probably, sorry about that, I think there's a duplicate slide here. So just ignore that. So let us look at some of the common machine learning use cases. So we've been talking about machine learning, how they evolved, but how do you exactly use them? How do they add value, right? So they can increase productivity by helping you find accurate information. We will see some services that do that, either deciphering documents, they look at data, they decipher patterns. You can do enterprise search, etc. You can make personal recommendations to increase customer engagement, right? So for example, if you go to Amazon, you purchase something, there's a recommendation engine based on what you have purchased. It will recommend you other products, or its recommendation engine is also based on what similar users are buying, right? So based on that, it will recommend. Now this recommendation is very powerful. It can be used for video recommendations also, right? So based on similar kind of users, what they're watching, it will recommend, or based on your usage history, it fine-tunes itself. There are ways you can add intelligence to your contact center. Okay, we'll talk a little bit about this. You can make faster decisions by extracting and analyzing data from documents. This technology is called natural language processing. And one of our services called Textract. It extracts, it uses optical character recognition to extract data, as well as applies intelligence to decipher and give it a shape, right? It can analyze rich media assets. For example, many of our services, they can look at images, they can look at videos. If you're looking for to detect mature content in videos, or you're looking for certain celebrities, you can detect the type of videos, the people who are in these videos or images, and apply a lot of this to automate your processes. It makes it easy to identify fraudulent activities, right? So as I said, detects patterns. They have certain fully managed, pre-built services that help you do this. And the other important thing is you can forecast your inventory, demand for your inventory. You can forecast your demand or inventory needs, etc. So you can fulfill your customer commitments of delivery and cost. So as I said, hundreds of thousands of customers are using machine learning, and they have chosen AWS as a platform, right? Companies of various sizes. We won't go through all of them. So we have almost different kinds of use cases. of companies using machine learning on AWS. And these companies are of every size and shape. So let's do a quick recap, right? So we looked at machine learning landscape, how it evolved. We looked at what machine learning is. You might have a lot of different definitions of what it is, right? But we wanted to define what exactly it is: machine learning, artificial intelligence, deep learning. And then we saw why should we care about it, right? What value does it add to our organization currently, to us? And then we saw some of the capabilities in AWS, the various services, how you can add intelligence to your application, some of the use cases it can be applied to, right? We also saw the AWS machine learning stack. So what it means, you can work in any of the stacks based on the skill set in your organizations and the technology landscape you have. So there is one service in particular that is kind of very popular and that has been adopted by a lot of different enterprises. It's called Amazon SageMaker. So as a SageMaker is a fully managed service that provides, it's kind of a development environment, an integrated development environment on steroids, right? So you can think of it like that. So it helps data scientists, developers develop, manage, tune, deploy machine learning models at scale in an organization at a very fast rate. Right? So things that took about models that took like weeks or months to build can be done in hours or days. Right? So that kind of efficiency is what I'm talking about. So if you look at each of these processes, it helps you prepare the data, wrangle it, massage it, make it ready for machine learning. It can help you build machine learning models in various ways using probably Studio notebooks, local mode, autopilot, etc. You can train your models, right, in various ways. You can have experiment. Generally, this machine learning process is iterative, right? So you want to do it different ways. You want to tune your parameters, see what the output is, measure the accuracy, and keep repeating. So it helps you manage all these different experiments. It helps you suggest the best model that you can use, the output, the accuracy, the suitability of the models to your use cases. And finally, you can deploy and manage your models at scale. It creates an automatic endpoint which can be called from your applications, or you can deploy it in the form of containers, right? So as I said, it has an integrated workbench. It's a fully managed infrastructure, and it has a set of tooling, right? So it has a debugger, autopilot, notebooks, experiments, everything in one place, and it provides end-to-end service. So as I said, it boosts data scientists and developers, machine learning developers' productivity, and by helping enterprises build machine learning models at low cost, it helps organizations leverage the data which is valuable and differentiating, right? So we just looked at one of these services. So we looked at the general landscape, the advantages of machine learning, right? How companies are using it, some use cases, some of the services, machine learning stack, the layers, how we can operate at different layers. And we also looked at one of the tools called SageMaker. Right? So we did a little deep dive on it, right? So now let us see how machine learning and AI cognitive technologies are being used by various industries, right? So a lot of services that I talked about or will talk about can be applied through to a spectrum of industries. But we've also been listening to various industries, various enterprises, our customers, about the need for industry-specific solutions. And we've been investing a lot in that too, right? So we've been coming out with solutions which cater to certain needs of specific industries, right? So for example, if you take a look at finance, right? So you can apply machine learning, cognitive technologies to a host of use cases. Now you can um, By detecting fraud, it can protect merchants as well as users, right? So it can detect patterns in transactions or anomalies, etc., to give you a heads up about fraud. It can help you catch up with regulatory issues also. It is extensively used in document processing and help you with this um, and help you make it more efficient, right? So for example, if you're doing a KYC process, machine learning can immensely help you with that. We also have various, it can be immensely used in pricing and product recommendations, right? For example, in our last reInvent, Vanguard showed as to how they use the demographics, investment goals, and the other information of a person to create a customized portfolio for them. That is an example of how you can use machine learning for providing a pricing and product recommendation, right? It can be immensely used in trading and analytics. For example, it can predict stock loan rates in trading. It can look at satellite images and predict the crop yields. In some cases, it has also been, it look at the, the parking, the number of cars parked in a department store, and it has been able to predict the quarterly sales or revenue, right? So apart from that, it can also customize and improve your user experience, right? So you can reach out, have various touch points in the form of, chat, texting, or calls, and interact with your customers through various channels. For example, 20 years, not even 20 years ago, probably 10 or 15 years ago, we probably had to do a lot of paperwork in order to open a bank account, right? So we had to fill a lot of forms, and it took probably a couple of weeks. But now what happens is you just take a picture of yourself and a picture of some of your important documents and upload it. In the behind the scenes, it uses facial recognition in order to verify your identity. And it also extracts meaning out of your documents in order to open a bank account for you in as low as like a couple of hours. So that's what I'm talking about, the changes that machine learning can bring. Okay, so these are some of the use cases, right? So we won't dwell on this too much. So it shows how some of the successful large enterprises which have carved a niche for themselves are using machine learning, right? So some of them are using, like Charles Schwab are using to detect and prevent online fraud faster. They're using sentiment analysis from media feeds for Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. They can decipher and do a sentiment analysis. Sometimes you can do that to predict, to gauge how users feel about their products, right? You can do a sentiment analysis after a marketing campaign, right? Some of them are using deep learning for property image classification, and also for AI document processing for automation, some of the stuff that I mentioned before. Some more examples of how Coinbase is using machine learning models on SageMaker to prevent fraud, right? Some of them are using accelerating machine learning to accelerate financial analysis or predicting global markets. So we've seen how machine learning helps in the financial industry, right? So let us look at the healthcare industry, right? So there are immense use cases of machine learning in the healthcare industry. Generally, when it comes to care quality improvement, health analytics, improving and streamlining your processes in the healthcare industry, and also improving operations, right? So generally, a lot of this involves deciphering text that has been locked in documents, right? For example, patient notes, hospital admission records, patient history, the narrative of the doctors. So a lot of information, textual and voice information, is locked in these documents and artifacts. Machine learning helps us extract, decipher, and make meaning out of them. And this way it can improve care quality. Right? So for example, one of the customers, forgetting the name, I think Beth Israel. So they use SageMaker in order to match their they had so many hospital rooms that they had, and they wanted to match the schedule of the hospital rooms with the inflow of patients. Right? So they were able to do that with SageMaker and improve the efficiency of the operation and also patient care. Right? It can help you with gauging population health analytics, right? What the trend of health of the people is. Yeah, it can help you with PHI compliance, right? Private health information. So in this healthcare industry, data has been exchanged between various organizations, insurance providers, healthcare providers, hospitals, um, and care needs to be taken that we have to comply with PHI compliance, right? So by detecting, analyzing data that might have potential PHI information, machine learning helps either to redact or mask them, right? And definitely, it also helps with increasing customer engagement. As I said, you can have you can probably engage with your healthcare providers, insurance through chat, text, or voice, etc. It helps you reach out to a customers through various channels. Some of the services that can be used in healthcare industry, I'll just go through a couple of them. It's called Amazon Transcribe Medical. So Transcribe is actually a service that converts voice into text, right? So when you speak, so the automatic speech recognition converts that to text. But we have something called Amazon Transcribe Medical, which is specific to the medical industry, which helps them add medical speech to text capabilities. Right? So it immensely helps with clinical documentation. So whenever a doctor or physician dictates, it automatically converts that to text for proper recording and processing. You can transcribe drug safety center calls reporting medicine adverse effects. For example, if you go to the FDA website, you have the adverse drug reactions of all the various drugs and medicines. So all this can be transcribed using Transcribe Medical, right? Similarly, telemedicine can also use that. So Amazon Comprehend is actually a service which uses natural language processing. So natural language processing is a field of machine learning which has the ability to understand and interpret language. Right? So it does so by converting all these words into an n-dimensional vector and does a lot of internal processing. And a lot of progress has been made in NLP in the last 5 years. Right? So if you look at the various NLP models that have come in now, and we use NLP in something called Amazon Comprehend, wherein if you feed it a document, it will try to decipher the document, it will extract the entities, relationships, right? It can be used for financial documents also. Just feed it a document or an extract or an article, and it will tell you, hey, this article says that this company is going to acquire the other company, for example, right? Similarly, we have something called Amazon Comprehend Medical, which is specific to medical industry, right? So it is specially fine-tuned and trained to understand and decipher medical terms related to drugs or patients, etc. And most of these services are HIPAA eligible. Similarly, Health Lake is a HIPAA eligible service that can help healthcare providers, pharmaceutical companies, hospitals store and analyze petabyte scales data, right? So they're collecting a huge amount of data from hospitals, patients, etc. This Amazon Health Lake specifically helps them to store, analyze, and derive information out of this data. Let me do a quick check. So before I go to industrial, give me 1 second. Quick time check and a quick question check. So, okay, so I don't see any questions here. So similar to finance, we've seen finance, healthcare. So we have a host of services that can be improve productivity increase throughput, increase efficiency, and lower cost for firms in the agricultural, industrial, heavy machinery segment, right? So, for example, for enterprises that have cheap smart cameras installed, the Amazon Device SDK, which is a lightweight, low-cost SDK that can be installed in these smart cameras, and it can provide a mechanism to run sophisticated computer vision models on the edge devices, right? So you can make your cameras very smart in detecting certain movements, etc., on the edge. Similarly, the Panorama appliance is a very powerful edge computing device, right? So if you don't have cameras, or you have dumb cameras, locations of process of dumb cameras, you can use our appliance, which is called Panorama appliance, which is fine-tuned to run computer vision models. Similarly, Amazon Monitron, it's an end-to-end device for predictive maintenance. It actually comes with a monitor which can detect temperature and pressure, temperature, vibration, and pressure variations. And it can give you a heads up about potential equipment failures. It also has an app where you can look into this metrics, and it'll also alert you or notify you about any potential anomalies it detects, right? So lookout for equipment does the same thing as Monitron, but if you already have equipments, you want to use your own equipment, then lookout for equipment just gathers data from these equipments and gives you a heads up about potential equipment issues, right? So lookout for vision is the same, is kind of similar, but what it does is it uses computer vision to look at the products in the probably manufacturing or supply chain. It can learn what the baseline for a product is in as low as 30 images, right? And when you show it another image, it can compare and tell you whether it can detect any anomalies or is it different. So this way, you can be given a heads up about any quality issues in your assembly or manufacturing lines, right? So for example, silicon wafers, if the shape slightly differs, then it would detect it and raise an alert. So just a quick recap before we move into some of the services that are specific. I'll just take you quickly to some of the specific services. So we saw the landscape about AI, ML. We defined what they are, how companies are using it, various use cases. We look at the machine learning stack, what it means. We looked at various frameworks. We looked at one particular tool, SageMaker. And we also looked at some of the services that can easily add intelligence to your application. Subsequently, we saw how different industries are using machine learning and artificial intelligence, right? Finance, we looked at finance, we looked at industrial and healthcare. And there's specific services or models that are designed for them that they are finding success with, right? So quickly, there are 4 or 5 products, and this is by no means exhaustive. As I said, we've been releasing features, services, enhancements at a fast rate. But some of the important services, for example, there is Amazon Kendra, which is like putting enterprise search on steroids. So what that means is you can connect Amazon Kendra to many of your data sources, probably object page S3 storage on Amazon, your hard drives, your OneDrive, etc. So it can search through all the documents and it can answer your queries, right? So again, it uses natural language processing to do this. So it is just for enterprise search. Similarly, contact lens. Amazon Connect is actually a fully managed contact center provided by Amazon. So Amazon has been running Amazon.com for decades, right? So we know a lot about customer calls, how to handle them, how to decipher, how to have the quality of these calls, how to make the operations more efficient. So decades of experience handling contact centers, handling customer calls, reaching out to customers, etc., has been baked into this product called Amazon Connect, which is a fully managed contact center. It helps you customize. For example, you can set up your own workflow routing based on the skill set of the workers. so that the calls can be routed to them. Similarly, contact lens actually uses machine learning in order to derive intelligence out of these customer calls. So it can derive sentiment out of these calls and figure out, are the customers complaining about a certain product? Are they happy? Are they unhappy? Right? So again, it uses transcribe, NLP, everything in the backend. So fraud detector is a fully managed service that helps you enhance fraud detection with machine learning. Right? So it looks for anomalies, especially credit card fraud, which are which kind of have different patterns to them, and it will raise an alert. So Code Guru is a service that helps automate code reviews using machine learning, right? So there's an inbuilt amount of intelligence. There's a good amount of intelligence built into this review process where it can look at how code is consuming resources. It can suggest improvements to that code and provide intelligent recommendations. It helps you write, review, build, test, and deploy code, and also measure its effectiveness. Similarly, DevOps Guru applies intelligence in order to increase the efficiency of your operations, right? So it looks at the logs, the various, and looks and knows what a normal is. If there's a deviation from the normal, it could raise an alert, right? It will detect operational issues with insight. So Amazon Personalize is also a fully managed service that helps you provide recommendations and improve customer experience. So it can provide high quality recommendations. So as you train it based on the particular user's interest, based on what he has expressed interest in, purchased, clicked on, it will recommend products to him. Right? So the various ways, various models you can use it, it comes with its own pre-trained model, which you can fine tune. And as it learns a user's preferences, his habits, etc., it will recommend products to him. Now, this could be videos also, right? So we have some of our customers that I work with. They have used Amazon Personalize to provide customers with personalized video recommendations to come to the website, to the video uploading website, right? So Lookout for Metrics helps you detect anomalies, identify the root cause based on the data you feed it, right? So this could be anything. Probably your revenues, your inventory, demand, right? Any kind of metrics, it can detect anomalies in business and operational metrics also. Similarly, Rekognition, as you know, is our fully managed service that helps you do a host of things, right? So it can do celebrity recognition, face detection analysis, real-time video analysis, obscenity detection. It can put labels as to what that image it thinks it is. It can do pathing. It can figure out, is the person running or is he standing? So it can do a lot of things. And you can do this using a simple API call. You don't have to be an expert in machine learning. Okay, so before we move on to the next step, a quick time check and so question check. So there are no questions as of now. Okay. So let's quickly recap what we did, right? So after we looked at the whole machine learning thing, definitions, how AWS uses it, how AWS enables, how Amazon uses machine learning, some of the industry specific use cases. We looked at SageMaker. We looked at how financial industry uses. We looked at industrial landscape, how manufacturing companies can use it, use cases in healthcare industries. We looked at some of the important services that AWS provides. As I said, most of them, apart from SageMaker, where you can deploy, tune, manage your own models, a lot of them can be used with little to no ML skills. Right? A lot of the ones that I just talked about, including Amazon Kendra, Personalize, Transcribe, Comprehend. So now that we have seen how do you get started? How do companies get started, right? Um, so AWS provides a number of programs to help you get started and accelerate on your journey towards machine learning, right? So for your business and technology stakeholders, we provide in-person as well as online classes in the form of a program called ML Embark. We also have a host of online certifications and training for developers to get certified, right? We have a portfolio of something called deep devices. The deep devices I'm going to talk a little bit about. Deep Composer, Deep Lens, Deep Racer, which provide a fun and engaging way for your developers to learn machine learning, right? We also work with we also work with your teams in order to identify machine learning use cases. We do a joint POC with them to identify machine learning use cases in organizations, right? And last but not the least is we have something called the professional services. You can either use our professional services or our partner network in order to take these workloads into production. So they will do end-to-end development to take these workloads, these machine learning workloads to production. Right? So we have a very robust and vibrant set of partners who are competent to help you in this journey. So as I talked that we have a portfolio of deep devices, right? So one of them is Deep Racer. So Deep Racer actually provides a very fun way for you to learn something called reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is something that's generally used in robotics, wherein there is a reward mechanism or rather reward function that you define, wherein if it does the right thing, it knows it gets rewarded. Right? So repeatedly by training it that way, you train a particular machine or a robot to do a particular activity, right? So there is an online simulation of this 3D race that you can take part in. You can develop your own models and you can demonstrate it or test it out there. Right? So it's called Deep Racer. Similarly, Deep Composer, if you kind of, how do I say this? If you start with a tune or rather a narrative or something like that, it will try to compose music for you. Again, it's a fun way of engaging and learning machine learning, right? Similarly, Deep Lens is something that comes with a smart. It's an appliance that comes with a very smart camera, and also some SDKs tutorials wherein you can train your cameras to identify and detect things, right? So this is a Deep Lens. So it is purpose built for ML skills development, right? And you can quickly get started on it. For example, you can place this in your bedroom and see if your dog comes in or whatever it does, or you can put this outside to identify people who are entering, something like that, right? So as a solutions lab, we can identify use cases by working closely with your team, use cases for machine learning. You can start with ideation and see it through production, and it also has a global footprint. So Embark program, as I said, it helps your developers, data scientists get trained either through cross-functional workshops, in-person training, or engaging by getting hands-on with Deep Racer. So we've showed totally ways of getting started. So there are some simple projects also you can do right on your own if you're really passionate, want to get started. Right? So these are some of the ideas, like you can try to detect objects, create models, etc. So that's all I had. So I'll just quickly switch onto my console and just show you a couple of things. So I hope you can see my screen. So this is generally the AWS Management Console, kind of a landing page or a zone from where you start a lot of your services interactively through this console. A lot of services can be consumed through APIs, SDKs also programmatically. But I just thought I'll quickly show you, which will give you an idea of how these things work. So for example, if you look at, these are all the machine learning services available, right? SageMaker is something we talked about, right? But a lot of these other services are as simple as clicking a few buttons, uploading documents, or they don't require a lot of ML skills of creating and deploying models. As I said, a lot of them come with pre-trained models. For example, you can just go here, probably use some of the free tier available, and try a number of these services. For example, Textract is as simple as uploading a document and seeing it, how it deciphers, how it derives meaning out of it, right? Or for example, you could just go to Amazon Personalize, create a data set, see how it recommends, right? Similarly, a number of these, like for example, I can show you some of these because they require either an elaborate data set or they require so for example, Transcribe is something that converts speech into text, right? So you can launch Transcribe, you can speak something, show it in audio and upload it and see how it transcribes, right? So as a lot of them can be either interactive, deploying a data set, looking at the results, or using simple API calls from your application. And above all, let me quickly show you SageMaker. As I said, SageMaker is a service that is like a development environment that has all the features where you can build, deploy, process, train, infer, right? So for example, notebook instances is something that you generally get started with. You can create some of the models that I have created with, just see how they look. So for example, this is a typical model where you can run in your notebook. You can see the results, you can compile, you can deploy. When you deploy, you can kind of import your models. So as I said, a lot of frameworks are provided, including PyTorch, TensorFlow. You can incorporate all that in your notebooks, and you can then deploy your models into SageMaker, wherein you'll see the deployment models here. And you can also do an inference. When you deploy a model, it appears as an endpoint, which can be called from your applications, right? So I'm open for questions, but just quickly recapping, right? So from the beginning, we looked at the history of machine learning, how it evolved, the current landscape. We looked at what machine learning is, right? So I know it's a thing you might have come across many different places, but it's kind of difficult to define what it is, right? And then we looked at why AWS for machine learning, and what are the features it provides, some of the services. So we have the broadest and deepest set of platform. We have the peripheral services that enable machine learning. We have SageMaker. And then we looked at the various layers of the machine learning model, right? The ones which actually add intelligence without you having to develop the model. Then there is SageMaker, where you can develop the model. And then there's a layer where there are frameworks that you can use when you go much deeper. And this is more for experts and expert ML practitioners, right? Then we looked at the various use cases, how machine learning can be integrated into your applications, right? What kind of activities or what kind of tasks it can do. We looked at machine learning by industries, the various use cases it enables, right? We looked at finance, healthcare, industrial. Then we looked at specific services. Most of these are fully managed services, right? We did a deep dive into SageMaker. And after that, we also talked about how Amazon uses machine learning internally in Amazon.com. And then we saw how you can get started on machine learning. How you can get started, how you can train your team, online training classes, you can use it's a fun and engaging way of doing it is through our deep composer, or sorry, deep portfolio products. You can use our ML's Embark or solutions, and you can use either our professional services or partner networks to take your ML workloads to production. So if there are no questions, then thanks much for attending this session. If you do have questions, you know where to reach me. My email ID is ramaswgo@amazon.com. Thanks again, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Bye.